Good afternoon. I'd like to call the Commissioners' meeting to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. This meeting is being recorded, and anything said in the meeting becomes part of public record. Since the last time the Board of Commissioners met, we have not had an official executive session. However, we did sign the TAN documents that were in the previous meeting and did interviews for various open job positions. There's no correspondence that I'm aware of to bring before the public. So at this time, I would ask if there's any public comment. All right, hearing none, you'll see the agenda before you. Are there any comments, corrections about the agenda? Hearing none, the minutes from January 11th are in your packet for review before this meeting. Any comments, questions, corrections? Moving on to the finance report.
As of today, we have $2,474,028 in both of our funds, $1,225,972 in the general fund. We did have to take a drop in the TAN in the closing documents, so we took $100,000.
Okay. Any questions? There's no proclamations on the agenda, therefore I will move the consent agenda and ask for a second.
Second.
Motion made and properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. Moving on, there's no old business on the agenda. So under new business, approval of certifications of funds for 2023. It's an annual thing. Any questions?
That's $2,588. And this is related to Clean and Green. So this is something that we do every year. Very simple. A motion to approve.
Second, discussion?
No.
All those in favor please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it. Approval of the agreement with Warren County School District. Did you want to describe that?
It's simply a routine agreement for the 2023 recycling events with the Warren County School District, just so that we can use their parking lot facilities to conduct them. It's something Dan Glotz does. Make a motion to approve the license agreement.
Second. Any discussion?
No.
All those in favor please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it. Next, resolution 3238. This authorizes the county's allocation of the DCD's new home repair program to be administered by the Economic Opportunity Council for some more. Any questions? This is, I forget the exact amount that's in that pot, but this would be
It's about 380,000.
380 some thousand.
Rounding.
They'll have some administration out of that, of course, and then the rest will all go towards improvements, I believe exterior mostly.
I think they're focusing on roof repairs as well as a workforce development component, which
Very
is
good.
in
Oh, that's right. They wanted to do a kind of contractor training sort of program.
some similar. They don't have to be connected, but they are looking to increase trade skills
Mhm.
within the workforce locally. So any kind of projects or things that we can allocate funds for, and there is no cap on that money of how much we can use for it. But so it's going to be primarily roof repairs and developing a trades force.
Very good.
Make a motion to approve the resolution 3238, authorizing EOC to apply and administer the whole home repair program.
Second. Any discussion?
I would just say very quickly, I'd like to thank Danielle Flasher and everybody in planning and zoning for the work on this, because they've worked with EOC in order to put this together. They've also been researching these additional programs that she's referring to that we weren't really aware of when we first authorized this. So very excited to see how this pans out.
I'd also like to thank Kim Slocum as well, because she's done a lot of work
yep.
as a communications and kind of getting everyone together. So she's been imperative to the process.
Very good. I think it's a relatively small amount in the grand scheme of things. I mean, 300 some thousand, it's not going to do that many houses. However, my assumption is that this is a pilot program that the state will look to possibly continue to fund and
Correct.
expand in the future.
I think that's the
So
intention.
thanks for hitting it off strong. And Kim, now that you're in the room, thank you for your work on the whole home.
Pardon?
Thank you for your work
Oh,
on the
you're
whole home
welcome.
repair program. There's no other discussion. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Resolution 3239 is the Tax Claim Bureau Schedule of Fees, which we pass every year. Mr. Director?
So I like to reevaluate my fees every year just to make sure we're recouping our costs. And the one there, the ad for the newspaper, for the upset sale, it was at 25, but it should be more at 30. We're losing money. I think last year we lost about $1,600 by placing that ad. So if we get to 30, we should be about even with that. And then the research for the judicial sale on mobile homes, we have it at 100, it should be at 150, and that's our actual cost.
Okay, any questions for the presenter? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve Resolution 3239, the Tax Lien Bureau Schedule of Fees.
Second. Any discussion?
No.
Thank you, Phil. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, Resolution 3240, authorization for revisions to the 2018 CDBG Budget. This would be the last year you could do that, right?
Correct, it expires March 6th.
Okay, presenter is Danielle Flasher.
Yes. So, on our contract C0007079, our Pratt Street project came in under budget of $9,062.85. Therefore, we're requesting that we are able to move that from fiscal year 2018 into fiscal year 2021 under contract 73787 for our Center Street stormwater, which happens to be slightly underfunded, so this will help kind of bridge the gap of funds we are less.
Great. Questions?
Make a motion to adopt Resolution 3240, authorizing the revision of the 2018 CDBG budget.
Second. Any discussion?
No, it all sounds like a good idea to me.
Thank you.
Very routine. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Agreement with Capital Area Communications. This is for our radio system. Director McCorson, did you have anything you wanted to present?
Just briefly, that to clarify, this is on our old analog radio system, not our new P25 radio system. So this is our UHF Met assets and our low band fire assets. It's a routine contract. The cost has not increased since I've been the director. So they've held
Actually
steady.
decreased.
That's pretty fair from this vendor.
We agree. Any questions?
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement with Capital Area Communications for radio system maintenance.
Second. Discussion? All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Carries. Next, appointments to the RDA and the Land Bank Authority. Assume you will. do
Yeah,
that.
so I'll make a motion to appoint Michael Boyd to serve on the Warren County Land Bank Authority effective immediately, and also make Jeffrey Lebeski appoint him to the Warren County Redevelopment Authority effective immediately.
Okay, Land Bank is new. RDA is a vacancy due to resignation.
Pam Mappy has resigned from the Redevelopment Authority because she's now functioning as the executive director. So she's being asked to be replaced by Jeffrey Lebeski.
Very good. Any questions? That was a motion, so I'll second it. Any discussion?
Yeah, I'll just say that both of these candidates are very qualified. Michael Boyd is on the RDA for the city, and we met with him, and he's a very good candidate. So very excited to have both of them on.
Very good. All those in favor of the appointment state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, agreement with MCM to do a commodity flow study. Again, I assume that is Director McCorson.
So MCM did our last commodity flow study. What they do is there are control points within the county that they set up and count the hazardous materials that come through our county, both train and on our roadways. They did the last study. We want to use them to do the next study so they can just update the current plan.
When was the last time a commodity flow study was done?
So we're at about 6 years, and
Okay.
they're supposed to be done every 5. Obviously
sounds
during
about-
COVID, it wasn't.
Yep.
It got put on the back burner. We're now
Yeah.
catching up and getting all these plans up to date.
Because I vaguely remember the last time this was done.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. I'll make a motion to adopt the agreement with MCM to update the commodity flow study.
Second. Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have a one-time grant for English as a second language. And for that, I'll ask Director Hagberg to present.
We have a initiative group for the Ukrainians that are coming into the community, and they're language. They've asked for $9,100 to help with, partner with the school district for English as a second language, to have a teacher for the adults and children that are not school age. So I'm asking that you would approve this $9,100. In the meantime, we're gonna start looking for grant funding to sustain it going forward.
Very good. I'll move that.
Okay, I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. Quick discussion. First of all, we kind of kicked off this group, and so we haven't really done anything financial to support them, with the exception of that study on how many refugees Warren County could take. This working group has then kind of followed through, so I do feel like there's a bit of an obligation since we helped kick it off. I also still think that it's very strategic for the long-term viability of the county to be welcoming to all peoples, but especially refugees. And I think that this is a poignant moment for Warren County to shine in terms of participating, I guess, in the American vision. So I'm supportive of this, and I would also like to note that the $9,100, first of all, is a relatively minor amount of money considering the amount of impact that it will have. And second of all, these various organizations that are working together on the refugee resettlement program have raised significant amount of money, and this is, you know, kind of a drop in the bucket. And so, if this is the thing that they want us to support, I think, in my opinion, it fits well into the mission of what we should be doing. My only question would be, which fund do you want to take the money out of?
We're gonna take it out of the general fund.
General fund. Okay. Any other comments?
I would just quickly say that I think this is a fantastic program. You know, aside from the discussions of population decline and trying to find people to move here, the notion that we can take people that are in a difficult situation and help them assimilate to our culture and community, I think anything we can do to do that is a good thing. So applaud Commissioner Kaffelin and Lisa Hackberg and everybody involved in it. Joni Smedley. Yeah, well, I think Joni should go first because she's the one that sent the email. But yeah, Joni's done an amazing job trying to work on this as an issue, and I think it's, I just think it's a good thing.
Very good. Well, this was properly moved and seconded. $100. Note that the beneficiary directly would be the First Lutheran Church. They'll be the green tea. All those in favor of the motion, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Finally, we have the agreement with Vision Software for reassessment services. We made the selection at the last meeting, and then the last couple of weeks the solicitor was working with Vision in order to hammer out an agreement, official agreement. Do you want to say anything in the presentation?
I reviewed the contract that Vision sent over. I submitted some edits to that. We received some edits back to that. I reviewed those with Chief Assessor Brian Bull. We were satisfied with the acceptability of the edits. We accepted their changes. We presented them here. You know, the gist of most of the discussion had to do with, you know, technical legal terms that I don't want to belabor the commissioners on, but if you have any specific questions or you'd like me to go through, that, you know, any of the things that I thought were highlights, even if they were legal, I'm glad to go over whatever you'd like.
It's riveting reading.
Well,
Hearing no questions.
I mean, it's, you know, there was back and forth exchanges on, you know, indemnification, workers' compensation, you know, insurance coverage. I did manage to include some representations in here in regard. There were some changes to the Assessor Certification Act that took place in 2021 that we incorporated by reference into the contract that puts requirements on these mass appraisers to have people with specific qualifications and licensing involved in revaluation activities, those which are defined terms under the regulations. So I think that was a good protective ad for the county. And we had, otherwise there was a lot of terms that I just want to make sure were included, that we asked in the RFP, things that we asked for in the RFP that we stated would be in the contract or in the contract provision presented. So some of it was just making sure that was part of it. So in general, I'm satisfied, and I think the county's set up for a contract that protects the county's interests and get started.
Very good. I move the agreement with Vision.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
So a couple of things. One is that once this is approved, or if it's approved, this will then initiate Vision to start a public relations campaign that will explain in further detail the timeline and the kind of parameters of the project. And I think that'll be really good for the community to understand how this is going to work, because obviously this hasn't been done in over 30 years in the county, so there's going to be a learning curve for everybody. Secondly, once this is completed, the new values will not take effect until 2025, and then that's where people will start to appeal their valuations on their properties. So I just want to make that clear, that just because this is being initiated, it's not something that by the end of the year everybody's going to have a different tax bill. There will be some. This is a multi-year process, and just want to stress that. And then lastly, I would just say that this is something that's needed to be done for at least a couple of decades in the county. So I think that it's a very good thing that needs to happen. And also, commend Commissioner Caffel, Tricia Durbin, everybody that's been involved in the process, because everybody's done everything they can to be as thorough in the evaluation and the planning of this. And I think that needs to be applauded. It wasn't something that was decided or reviewed overnight. It's been deliberated and discussed with municipal officials, people in the school district, people in the community, and so feel really good about this moving forward. So,
thank you. I added my comments to the last meeting, so there's nothing more. Call the question. All those in favor, please state aye. Aye. The motion carries. Any commissioner comments?
no.
All right.
I have to say we got through this pretty efficiently.
So, adjourn the meeting at 12:20.
Very good.